Okay, good afternoon. It's September 12th at 1:11. And I'm here at the New Haven High School, and thankfully these ladies agreed to sit down to talk about the 2005 New Haven State Championship volleyball team. So if you're looking at the camera now, on the left is Coach Jamie Hayner. Next to her is Erin Mankey Winkleman. Next to her is Ashley Bailey Regal. And next to her is Danielle Maynard Holt. And they were part of that team, and thankfully Coach Hayner got some of these. One said she didn't know if she wanted to do it or not, and then she was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. She's sitting there with the gray sweatshirt on, not to the end, but. So anyway, we're gonna start. Before we get into that team, I'm gonna cover just a little bit, and I told them I'm gonna cover a little bit of the 2004, because Coach Hayner said that was a very good team. And they did lose in sectionals to Lockwood, and we'll cover that, but that 2004 team, all you girls were, I call you girls, ladies were on that 2004, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
So you guys were 21-11 that year overall, and you were 6-1 in conference, and you lost to the eventual state champion Lockwood in sectionals. I know all of them are lumped into sectionals now, but the first game out of district, 22-25, 21-25. So that was a fairly close game, which potentially, hey, if we beat them, we could have probably won 2 state titles in a row. Is that correct, Coach Hayner, or not?
Yeah, I think so. I don't remember what Lockwood's record was. Maybe they had lost a couple of games that year, but they could have been undefeated for all I really remember.
Yeah.
But they were good.
They were good,
They
yeah.
had 2 very solid middle hitters. I mean, everybody, they were just a well-oiled machine.
I thought they went on to win that year too.
They
right?
did.
That's
They
what I
did.
They
thought.
did. And I honestly, I didn't remember that we even got that close to them. It
Do you-
didn't feel
Oh,
that
I remember
close.
I remember that. That was
Do you
the
remember where
longest I
sectionals was that year, or was that, did you guys have a drive, or was it close, or?
It was a drive.
It was a
really
drive.
because
Okay.
it was
Yeah.
the longest bus drive.
Because
home.
it was a
I think it
terrible
was at
ride.
Green Ridge.
And is that over by like
Yep.
Truman Lake,
Green
somewhere
Ridge
over
is
there?
like south of Sedalia.
Yeah.
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 It was.
Yep.
It was.
Yep, it's at Green Ridge, 3 o'clock. We ended at 3:45.
Oh, geez, Jersey.
October 30th.
Okay,
We
well,
would expect nothing less besides exact
well, I might be
details.
wrong, but I thought they were mostly seniors and they had lost the previous year, and so it almost was like the next year was the repeat for us.
I think you're right, yeah.
So yeah, so I was like, oh man, but that was hard. That was
It
tough.
was
for
very
us.
emotional, yeah.
did you have much, it's not like today in 2025, you have all this, did you scout them at all, or do you have other coaches that you could get a hold of, or did you watch them prior to
We
that?
did watch them, trading VCR tapes kind of
Yeah.
thing. That's what we did back then. I forget what team we watched them play, but I did watch them ahead of time, so I knew what they were going to be like. I don't know that I ever showed it to you guys.
I think
though.
that you always pretty much came prepared in practice of what we were expecting to see that week.
Okay.
I don't ever know how that played out because we were kids, so we didn't really know, but she always had some idea of what we really needed to be working on in practice so that we were prepared. I don't think we were prepared for how good they really were,
Yeah.
in the sense of mentally,
Yeah.
but
The toughness part of
yeah,
it.
it
for
was
sure.
tough. That was a tough game.
I can't remember if it was that season or the next season or senior year season, but I remember watching tape. Like we spent a lot more time watching tape as a team, and I felt like that was one of those great moments that we did and learned a lot from, because you got to see, and that was the first time we had done that, or I had done that, so that was kind of cool. Yeah.
Well, especially on a team like that, it's different. You guys have seen like Herman Washington board team, basically the same, and you may have played with them in club ball or whatever at that point, so you kind of knew, but someone that's kind of out of the had no idea where even Lockwood would, I'm sure it was helpful, and it probably brought some team cohesiveness too, because you can have it in practice and games, but just to sit down in a little group and do something like that. I don't know if that was your plan also, like, hey, maybe these girls were close anyway, but is this?
They were very close.
Okay.
I vividly remember when I was still up here in the lot or in the gym after practice, you'd hear them as they leave one by one. See you guys, love you. Bye, love you. I mean, and it was like they were being sincere.
We
They
still
weren't being
do.
goofy.
Yeah.
I mean, they were a very close group.
Yeah, still are.
I think,
So
that was a huge dynamic for us, was that we loved each other outside of the court, so it translated when we played.
Well, and it's nice, and I always say this, and Aaron has lived in Herman around it. What year did you actually move up there? Do you remember?
So it would have been, my son is now 8, so probably not, we've been in Herman now for probably 9
Okay,
years
so I've been there
or so.
since '97. And I've watched a lot of volleyball. I've basically since '97 on. And I will say it, and nothing against the Herman teams. Even this year, there were 2 or 3 or 4 girls that you could tell are a group, and then you have another group, and then you have another group. If
Yeah.
you guys had that, that was definitely a plus going forward in your season.
Yeah,
Where
they,
there was
got,
no,
they got along really well.
Yeah.
I did not ever have to get after them at all about that sort of thing.
So you lost 1 conference game to Herman that year. You guys could have won conference 2 years in a row, 25-23, 23-25, and then
Yeah.
15-25. So Herman must,
Yeah.
third set, Herman
were
must
good.
have said, hey, we're
They
done
were
playing
really,
around.
yeah, they were
Yeah.
good. They were good
I
that
think
year.
all of 2004 really set the stage for 2005. With everything
Just
that we
fired
couldn't,
us
yes,
up.
like we
Yeah.
couldn't accomplish those things we really wanted to the following year.
Yep.
Just provided that motivation was more.
So I did go over the losses. Like I told anyone watched them, I do my homework. It's just not blind going in there. But the losses you had that year, you had Poplar Bluff, in Oakville, which I assume were down in SEMO.
Yes.
Yeah,
And then you lost to Lutheran St. Charles, which was the 2A state champs.
yeah.
Wright City, Herman twice, Borgia twice, which were the 3A state champs.
Yeah.
Washington twice, and Lockwood, which was a Class 1 state champ. So you basically, what you have 2, 4, 5 of your losses were just to state championship teams. I mean, and obviously Washington was good because they made it to the Final Four the following year with you guys. And as I told Coach Hayner, what I did do, because, and she said, well, it's kind of like it's no big deal, but to me it is a big deal. I went through the awards, what you guys got in 2000 that year, to kind of build on there. And it's not to showcase anyone, because I have everyone on here that got an award, what she sent me. Erin Mankey, first team all conference, first team all district, Missouri and all area honorable mention, academic all conference. Cricket Gumper, first team all conference, second team all district, academic all conference. Ashley Bailey, first team all conference, first team all district, Missouri and all area team, first team, academic all conference. Kathleen Shear, all conference, first team all district, Missouri and all area honorable mention. Academic all conference, academic all state. Danielle Maynard, first team all district, academic all conference. April Brandt, second team all district, academic all conference, academic all state. And Carrie Fregoletti and Christina Nilgis, academic all conference. So you not only had good players, you had good students, which
Yeah.
I know you can have some bad students that are good athletes, but you just had we talked about before they got here, you just had a good overall group of young ladies that
They were really
were squared away in life for the most part.
Absolutely.
So I'm not saying you guys maybe didn't
Yeah,
have.
start.
So you know what I mean. You know what I mean. They probably had some
Yeah,
issues.
yeah.
Yeah. So there were probably some issues, but
Yeah, we're still 16.
so
Don't get it. Yeah.
where are we? We might be able to maybe we get these done in 2. Probably not. If we will, we'll take a break at a certain point because we're only at 7 minutes and we covered that already. So I'm going to say say who was on the 2000 state championship team. You had Hannah Smith, Natasha Halsey, Missy Mueller, Cricket Gumper, Danielle Maynard, Kathleen Shear, Ashley Bailey, Erin Mankey, April Brandt, and Kate Oberg. And they were coached by Coach Hayner and assisted by Coach Carey. So that year, first of all, we can kind of build on that year. Did you guys go to team camps in the
We did.
summer, or
Yeah.
what?
We went to Rolla that year for one of our licking.
Licking,
camps.
yeah.
And I remember we were in the Rolla High School gym and we had a break and we were sitting out there, or sitting in the gym, but looking outside, and it rained. It rained for the first time in like a month. This was late July. And that, I don't know why that sticks out in my mind. But we must have had a break. And then I also remember being down there and they were making fun of my Nokia phone. Because that was we didn't have cell phones, like real cell phones back in those days. And this one in particular was making fun of it. Like,
I don't remember that, but.
Yeah.
She doesn't remember any of the making fun.
No.
No,
Weird. She blocks that out.
I remember that.
Yes, yeah. But we went down there, and I don't remember exactly how we finished, but I left there feeling very good about how that summer went, and very excited about the
I
fall.
think we can mimic that. I think we did too. I think we left there really feeling like, oh, I think to kind of piggyback off of what Daniela was saying, we were pretty determined that next year when we walked into the gym. We were upset with how things ended. We knew that's not who we were as players, and we had some work to do, and she kind of really fired us up too, that we can get some stuff done if we actually work. So
And I remember early on in that season, I remember Coach Henry being like, "You girls are capable of so much." You know, like it just really showed, like giving us that confidence boost
Yeah.
too. And you know, I don't even know that we believed it yet. We wanted to, but I don't know that we
Right.
did. And so as the season went on, and because we're all friends and still are, it's just like I felt like we built upon each other. It just got grew to be better players because of each other.
Yeah.
And Coach Henry.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, now I know it's been 20 years ago, and you guys are probably, I can't believe it's 20 years. And she did say you guys, are you, many of you going to make the trip to St. Joe? Is that where it is?
We're on our way.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. It's good that you guys go there,
making a
but
whole weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
was there really much club other than, was H&H was it?
Yep.
So-
New Haven and Owensville, I think.
Were you all three on that team?
We all
or-
played separate teams.
We
We
all
all
Okay.
separate
played
teams,
Okay.
but yes.
What, basketball, they have summer leagues. Do they still have summer league? I'm out of the
They,
loop.
they go to.
Is there a particular reason why there aren't high school summer leagues where you guys can like play? You understand what I'm saying?
We
Like
did, we played in
basketball does?
Sullivan. And for
I think
volleyball.
we did
Remember we went to Sullivan
play in
summer
a
league? Yeah,
summer
because
league.
they were told us this big
Yeah.
thing. We were going to win this great sweat year and win all kinds of stuff. And it turns out we got the sweatshirt. It wasn't great. Remember at the end
Yeah,
of that,
I
we were so
remember that,
mad.
actually.
All we wanted
Yeah.
was a sweatshirt. We thought we were going to get something really amazing.
Yeah, we're giving up our summer nights here. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We-
Well, do you remember, and you guys are quite a bit younger than me, but back when I was in high school, Coach Steinoff could not be there. So we had to have like an out-of-school player, and it was Eric Holmeyer that would drive us Troy and Wright City. And he had to play it so he could be a player coach, but you remember if she could be there coaching you?
I think she
Yeah.
was, yeah.
I think so.
I think so. I mean,
Yeah.
if I remember going to Rolla with him, I know I was there.
Okay.
Now
We
they have all
drove
those-
separate, but we all drove separate.
Was it
I
all
remember
summer
driving.
long, or was it just like a few weeks, or do you remember? I mean, I've seen a long time
It was
ago.
like weekly,
was
wasn't
very-
it? I feel
I
like
don't
it
think it was
was.
very
I think it
long,
was
but
long.
I
Like,
do
remember
remember
month or
being
two? I just remember
weekly.
playing.
Yeah.
I remember being weekly.
And then we would, on our way home, be like, hey, what are we gonna do tonight? Like, we had
Yeah,
our
it's
plans.
like
But
a-
we never
yeah.
rode with Coach Hayner. Well, I don't think. Sorry,
Yeah.
Coach, but
Yeah, I don't think so.
we could try. We were seniors. We were like, ah.
Well, we did things on the way home we probably shouldn't. We
Well,
probably could have
not
gotten
us.
arrested
Not us.
for
We
it.
were
Yeah.
perfect,
Yeah.
actually.
Probably went
Angels.
to Taco Bell.
We definitely ate. We definitely loved ate.
Definitely
We
did.
love to eat. We love to eat.
For
Still
sure.
do.
So, let's get into, like I said, I try to limit these to 30 minutes, so we're at 12 now. So let's cover some of these games. Maybe we'll go through the SEMO tournament.
Well, that was fun that year for us. I
So-
remember.
First of all, I said this, you guys are gonna hold them up and you think I'm silly, but let's hold up and make a toast to you guys.
Get your
It's
water.
been 20 years. He said, I was around, but I wasn't around, so I want to make a toast to you guys. Coach Hayner said, in her mind, and she's been around, that you guys were the best team. Now, we're going to have some people like
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Like
Oh, that's.
Mrs.
Oh,
Hibbler.
high
We're going to
honors.
have teams like people like Mrs. Hibbler, and say, no. They were good. But they were good and no one else was good around here. As Coach Hayden will tell you now, if you guys went to the Herman tournament, which I covered everything, so many of these teams now, even when you were there, are so damn good. It isn't like you guys were
Oh,
it.
yes.
Yeah.
You guys were playing against Washington, Borgia, all those, and were good. So I want to make a toast to you guys. Congratulations on your year.
Thank
Have a
you.
good time up in
Cheers.
St. Joe is it the first or second weekend in the first weekend in November?
November 7th and 8th.
Okay,
6th,
second
7th.
weekend. So anyway, let's get into your season. You guys are 31-6-2. You guys are undefeated conference champs, the first title in 13 years. And where are we at here? So you guys, since, no, it wasn't 13.
We're conference, I think, right over there.
I-
Yeah, as well. 92
Oh,
was
those
the
are
last
state,
one.
yeah, those are
Yeah.
state.
Yeah.
So your
92.
first time in 13 years. So, was Washington still in the conference then, or were they out?
They got out
They
in
were
about
out,
2000,
yeah.
Okay.
2001.
But still, you had some,
We actually were talking about
Yeah.
that game before we came because that was an emotional game for us.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're getting there, and I'm not trying to
I'm
jump
gonna
forward.
cover it now.
But that was a big game for us.
So let's get into your actual season here for a little bit before we take a break. So the first game out of the hole was Bell 25-17. Then this may be the game where you talked about earlier where she made a comment to you guys because that's the only time you play Montgomery all
Yeah,
year.
it wasn't great.
So
That was
and
not
I'm
happy
gonna
with us
I'm
on
gonna
that
build
day.
on that to comment too
Yeah.
because if that was the case, she should have done a better job getting you guys in shape.
Right?
But anyway, you
Yeah,
guys
that's
beat
your fault.
25.
It's not our fault.
You guys beat Montgomery 25-21, 25-22, and then I don't know who it was. Which one of you brought up the comment that she said you guys were fat? Which one was that? Was it Aaron?
That was after the Montgomery. The Bell game, I remember being a little shaky. That was our first game. That's when we did a 5-1 that year because Danielle had got hurt.
Okay.
Right at the beginning of that season, we had always done a 6-2. So Danielle and I being the setters, and we had to do a 5-1 that year. So I was our only setter my senior year, and that was kind of our first game. I mean, we had been practicing that way, but that was our first game doing, running this 5-1 where I'm setting all the way around, and just kind of, I do remember that very first game, kind of maybe just jitters.
Yeah.
Kind of like
Well,
getting jitters
And you think
out
about this too,
and-
like Aaron and I are the same, we played together since little. I mean,
Yeah,
like we
yeah.
played on the same teams, school teams since, I mean,
We're
we're
all-
the same grade. So,
yeah.
I mean, you think we ran a 6-2 for our whole career of volleyball as soon as we started playing it. So just a whole idea of like how we changed. And I don't
roles
remember
changed, for
if
sure.
I was even playing at that point.
I
Like,
You might
wondered,
have
when
still
did
been
you
hurt.
get hurt? Were
it
you-
was
Um,
pretty quick.
it was-
I remember the cross country, like the cross country. I remember going up there and like, cause I had hurt my thumb, and she would bandage whoever our
trainer.
your
was-
trainer was, and she like
Yeah.
made this splint for me.
Cindy.
Cindy, she made a splint for me, all kinds of stuff. So I don't even know if I played that first game.
I don't
Yeah.
remember when you played.
It wasn't until I don't remember. We were on our way. I think Shamrocks was my first game, and we were on our
Let
way.
me check the score.
Well, you check that. Maybe it wasn't, but I remember driving on the bus, and you were like, "Well, we're gonna run a 6-2," and I remember we hadn't practiced it for a while, and I'm like, "Oh gosh, I don't even remember." You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because I was so we
Yeah.
were running a 5-1,
Yeah.
and I think that after that first game, I was like, I think what we were doing was better. I
Yeah.
think that was one of
Yeah.
our first ones where we kind of realization of like that 5-1
This
is
is what
probably
we're
a good
doing.
choice.
And how did you hurt your thumb?
Me and I think cricket collided, like going
practice?
For, yeah,
Yep.
in practice.
Yep.
Yeah. They thought it was broke. They thought it was. I mean, I had X-rays. It was one of those things. I think it was just a sprained ligament or something. Something that just takes a little longer to recover from.
Yeah.
But setting
So-
was very difficult. To do.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
I can see you did play at Bell, but then you did not play at Montgomery at all. Well, yeah, you did not play at Montgomery at all. So maybe it happened at that point.
Maybe it
I
happened
don't-
at that time.
I don't
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah, why
Or
don't you
maybe
have
you
dates
tried
on
to
here?
play
Yeah,
at
come
Bell.
on. You're lacking on
Yeah,
that.
we could use a
Yeah.
date. That really refresh our memory.
So maybe you hurt yourself because
Yeah.
you didn't play against. You did not play against Chamois either.
So let me ask you this,
Maybe it
Coach.
was-
Wow, maybe it was. I don't remember. I remember the bus. I remember being on the bus and we talked about it, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Ooh."
Before we continue on with these games, because Chamois up next after Montgomery. After this, she called you fat, but obviously, you guys need you need a more
Okay, in our
conditioning or
defense-
something.
In our defense, we did not do a ton of conditioning over the summer. That was,
But we
actually-
changed
but
after
we did.
that.
Yeah.
We
And
didn't have the
I
best
do
nutritional
believe
habits
that
either, let's be
honestly
honest.
did fire us up. Like we wanted to prove
Yeah,
her
because
wrong.
let's
after
look at
that.
those scores after that
Yeah,
game. Maybe
yeah,
it
yeah.
needed to be said.
So let me ask you this, Coach. Obviously, you know more than I do. Obviously, I understand the benefits of having one or two setters. If you only have one, they can't go up and block from the back row, correct? If you only have
When
one
she's in
setter and they're in the back row.
Right.
Yeah.
So obviously, if you have two setters, that's an advantage. If you have another one, they actually go up and, like Herman with Jaylee Kaler, they can go up and block.
Yeah.
So was there a reason why? Is it smoother offense running with two setters, or nothing against either one of you, but I'm curious why. What's the big advantage or disadvantage to both?
Sometimes if hitters only have to hit off one setter, they just kind of get more. It is a smoother offense. They get used to that setter. I think we had every intention of running a 6-2 that
did.
year with
We did.
those,
We did.
with both of them because
I
Aaron
would've
could
hit in the
Aaron could
back.
hit when
Yeah.
she's on the right side. But then when Danielle got hurt, and then we were kind of like, well, maybe we need to think about this a little bit. Then we never really looked back after that, and that we just kept Aaron's a setter.
Okay.
But Danielle still did play back row. She served for us. She
Yeah.
played defense
Okay.
for us. She just didn't play front row
Yeah.
for that.
Well, I was always curious because even like watching college, I watched a lot of college in the evenings, and the girl from Rockbridge that plays for Texas, Swindle, is that her name?
Yeah.
They ran a 6-2 last year, and I was like, why would you, if you have, first of all, I can't believe she stayed there being that level. It's like the way Mizzou is. I'm not trying to get off the subject, but I'm trying to learn the philosophy is,
Yeah.
you have a girl that's 6'3" that can do all the, and you're setting her on the bench and only playing her limited time. So I didn't know the advantages, so thanks for clearing that up. But so then you guys was it Chamois here or was it away? You said you started playing more at Chamois. I thought you said Danielle, but
I just remember a bus ride somewhere, and that's when, I don't know when that I came back, and it was like, we're gonna try it tonight, and
We played at Shamrocks.
was it that? And that's when I was like, it didn't go. I remember it being like, I think what we had
Oh, we
was worth
tried
it. You know, like
doing
we
the
picked,
6-2,
yeah, we tried
yeah.
going back to a 6-2 after we had a 5-1, and I remember us thinking like, I remember that
Yeah,
conversation.
yeah.
We're like, it was working better as a 5-1.
Did you
know?
guys tell coach that? Because I know
I think it was
there's
a
girls in
mutual
Herman that have a
relationship.
relationship with their coach now that can go talk to them and say, hey, we need to try it. Let's
Yeah.
keep continuing.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think
Did you
I-
have that with her or
I
not?
feel like it was a whole group conversation.
And I think
wasn't it?
we saw it as well. And I
Yeah.
kind of remember the conversation with Danielle, like, hey, I think we're gonna do a 5-1 with Aaron. And I think I remember, and maybe I don't remember this right, she's like, well, what would I do? You know, and
Yeah.
then I was kind of like, well, you're still gonna serve, you're still
Yeah.
gonna play back
Yeah.
row. But I kind of thought, heck, this kid's been setting since
Yeah.
at least the
I
7th
know.
grade with me.
Yeah.
And you know, it's
Yeah.
crazy because she
Here.
really took on her role. Like,
Oh
I
my
remember
gosh,
that
yeah.
being so hard for her probably
Yeah.
because that's all she knew. That's
Yeah.
all, when it was the volleyball court, that's what she knew, was setting. And then all of a sudden now, she's like, excuse, now what?
Right.
And,
So I'm gonna-
but she fell into the role so beautifully and really honest. We'll see that later. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I do remember that kind of being a really big deal for a little bit, that she was having to switch things
But
around.
I mean, like, I don't, it's all to be me on that part, but I feel like the whole team, and I think that was our philosophy, like, what's best for the team, and we had that mentality, you know, like, if somebody got pulled or someone got something, you knew what was best for the team, and you wanted to win. It didn't mean, like, it was more about us, not I, is kind of how I feel.
But Danielle led that. I mean, because she could have made that all about her, and then we would have been walking on.
You are correct, and I was
Yep.
gonna say
Yep.
that she very easily could have had,
Absolutely.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
She
you know
did.
what, I
She
do
did
not like this role. And I looked, and you only had 10 players, so I was gonna ask before we go on past Chamois. Did only having 10, most of them primarily play all, did you guys play all the way around primarily?
We did.
But did you have much rotating at all if you only had 4 bench players?
I rotated out then, but before that, I don't think I did. Well,
Right.
I don't know, I was short.
In
so-
2005, then Natasha Halsey played front row for
Yeah.
Danielle. The other starters didn't leave. Every now and then Hannah Smith would come back and serve for Kathleen,
Yeah.
play a little back
Yep.
row
Yep.
for her.
Yep.
But otherwise, that is pretty much it. So
Yeah.
they played a lot of games and they did not get too much.
Well, isn't it easier as a coach, and it's also easy, to me, to stay in a rhythm? Especially if you move across the front row real fast and there's a bunch of serving areas, like I'm out and I didn't even get to do anything.
Yeah.
So it seems like it'd be more benefit as a team if you had players that could play all the way around, but
I mean,
obviously I didn't play at
It's
that.
helps
hard to
with the
come off the
co-
bench,
yeah.
you know,
It
you're
is.
cold, you know, so you
Yeah.
have to be really
Yeah.
into it, you know, so.
Yeah, overall it helps with cohesiveness for sure, because you're used to being with the same people
Yeah.
all game, you
Yeah.
know? It's,
Yeah.
What are you looking at here, Coach?
Well, I was just looking at these stats because I was thinking, like Missy Mueller, she played a little bit every now and then. Kate Ober didn't get in a whole lot that year, but then Missy and Kate, the next year they played a ton for us. But otherwise, I used 7 players pretty much all the time, and then the other 3 kind of got trickled in there from time to time. But I just had to refresh
Well,
my memory on
that is almost unheard of in today's. And I've made some controversial video or two about volleyball in Herman, but to me, it seems like, and it's maybe to bleed over from club. You know, even if you play club, you could be outstanding. It's like, we're going to take you out because we got to get these back row players in. And I seen that you sub a lot too whenever I watched you up in Herman, but is that just kind of the trend now? Is like, even if you have someone 6'3", that's a great pass. We're taking them out, we're going to put a back row player. Is that kind of the trend now? Have they gotten away with playing all the way around now, or?
Well, I mean, if kids can play all the way around, I'll let them play all the
Okay.
way around. But if they can't put the serve in the court, they're not going to serve. You know, like
Well, I understand that, but it seems like a lot is like you see them serving and serving is like they're not serving the rest of the game because we're gonna get some of these players in. It's not like they're winning or losing bad either. It's kind of like we're getting them in. Maybe
Like
that's the.
everybody plays.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I should be better about getting more players in all the time. I feel like after the game, I'm like, man, I could have probably tried to get some more kids in there. But you know, even when some of our top players are kind of going through some stuff, you really want them to keep swinging
Yeah.
the ball to figure those things out. You don't just want to
Yeah.
have them miss 2 balls and then sit them on the bench the rest.
Well,
of
and
the
that's what
day.
we'll get back. That's when I do the Herman games, and I was like, there's one, and I'm not going to mention her name, that kind of had a rough couple of weeks, and I was like, she's got to keep hitting. She's going to get her way. It's kind of like hitting baseball. At some point, you're going to get yourself out of a slump. But let's get back to the season here. So the last game before the SEMO tournament, we'll go up through the SEMO tournament here, was St. Clair 25-13, 25-14. At some point at your game number 4, obviously you had history from 2004. Coach, did you think, hey, after the first 2 games, these girls are starting to bring it now that, hey, I know you're looking at the state, which is totally opposite of the local teams here because they're so good, but from this first 4 games, you're like, hey, these girls are going to be, they have a chance to do something this year.
Yeah, and we kind of felt like that even in the summer. It's always interesting though to go down to SEMO and just play a lot of games against different competition
Different teams, yeah.
and just to see kind of what we're made of.
Do you still go to SEMO?
Yep.
Okay.
So to go down there, and I very vividly remember that Lindbergh game because they were a really good team and they handed it to us.
Yeah.
But then
Oh, yeah.
that ended up us being tied for 3rd in the tournament, and that was
Yeah.
before they had divisions. It was
Yeah,
everybody
everyone.
playing down there. So tied for 3rd.
I
There were about 40 some teams.
we were real happy with that.
Yeah,
Like,
I think we were too.
I think
that
that's
was,
an
these
inclusion.
were big schools that we were playing against, and it really showed us like, oh, we can really stand with some of these
Yeah.
schools
Yeah.
that have so many girls to choose from. You know.
So let's go through the SEMO and then we'll take a little break. Oran, 25-7, 25-18. Sykeston, which is are they 5 or probably 5A now? I mean, sure they were big back then. 25-16, 25-21. Sickman, it was a Seckman, 25-17, 25-23. Clarkton, is that from maybe
Down
Tennessee or
south.
somewhere, or is that
No,
in
that's
Missouri?
Missouri,
Okay.
yeah.
25-16, 22-25, so that's your first tie of the year, one of 2. Woodland, 25-17, 25-15. Poplar Bluff, which is another bigger school, 25-12, 25-14. Then you talk about Lindbergh, 10-25, 12-25. And you said they were good. Did you guys just not play well either, or
Well,
was
that's-
a combination of both?
Yeah,
Or what?
well, that's 7 games. Was it 2 days? Was it Friday,
Yeah,
Saturday?
so we would've
That's
played-
a lot of volleyball with hard competition and that. So, I think probably physically, mentally, we were exhausted too, and.
It's like ready to get back to New Haven, had enough
Well,
of this, or
no,
what?
I don't think that. I just think especially that year, I feel like we played all out. Every game was, you played it. And so that's a lot of hard competition. 7 games in 2 days, roughly.
Yeah.
Well, and they're good. They were a good team.
They were good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that we tuckered out. I think that they were just that
That
good.
They were good.
Was the Lindbergh, would have been the semifinal?
Yeah.
4 games, because you have Timberland after that. Was that out of the tournament?
Yes.
Okay. So you guys got 3rd. Do you remember who, and we'll take a break here after this. You remember who won?
No,
That-
not that year. No,
I don't remember.
Were there any other local schools down there other than New Haven?
probably not. Every now and then, like Owensville goes down there now. I do think years and years ago, Borgia went down there for a year, and I think they won it. But mostly, it's just us from
Okay.
this area that goes down there.
Okay. We're at 27 minutes. Like I said, I like keeping these about 30 minutes. We'll take a break, and it'll be a short break, see if they need to use the restroom or anything. Then we'll come back and cover the rest of the season, and we might actually get the championship. We might get all this done in an hour because obviously I'm not part of the history, so I can't really add much. I do remember them, and it was a good time. It's been a very good run, me being in Herman, because I follow obviously through what was the year when Lauren Gerlman, and that was.
They graduated in 2017.
So you had basically that whole from like 90, and I covered that I think in one of the other ones, from like 97 until there was a complete run of Washington, Borgia, Herman, New Haven, somewhere in the Final Four, and I forgot how many years it was. I think I said like almost like 20 years. Someone from here was in the Final
Yeah,
Four.
like-
So was this me being a Herman? But I do remember you guys. So let's come back. We'll take a break and we'll cover the rest of the season.